grass, so they're going less and less. Grass here. I just like to put a bit of sand over the top of that. Now as we go up the hill a little bit more, is we grab our fork and we dig it in and we try and lift. Hi members, hope this all finds you well. It's a perfect time now to touch on how we properly care for our greens with our pitch marks and how to properly repair them. Okay, so we come in nice and close and we've got our two pitch marks here that we're going to try and repair. Now, the first thing we don't do, okay, with our pitch repair, what we've been told and what everyone has learned essentially is to dig their fork under the repair and then flick it up. Now what that actually does is rip up all the roots from underneath. So when we do that, it makes it look very good and nice and flat. We can get it nice and flat, but what we've actually done is we've actually killed that little area of grass, okay, because we've gone underneath, we've ripped up all the dirt, up all the roots, and then we've tapped it down. Now that little part there will die off, and when you see the greens when they are not as well sanded as this, you'll see a little dead spot everywhere along the greens, and that's what we don't want. So it's important when we do it in the correct manner. First thing you do, stick a T in the middle of the repair or of the mark, okay, and I'm moving it around just to separate all the roots, okay. So all the roots are separated, none have broken. Okay, now what I do is grab your fork, or you can even do it with the T if you're good enough. And all we're doing is just digging around it. Okay, I'm not lifting any of the roots. I'm not ripping any of the roots. Okay, I'm just bringing the roots a little bit closer together now. See there? Now I'm tapping it all down. So there's a big difference there. So all I've done is separate the roots and try and bring them all back together. Okay, where this one I've dug right under it. And ripped out all the roots, and that'll take a lot longer to grow back than what that will. So it's a good little trick of the trade, that one. So good luck. Hi members, we're just going to talk about the correct way in raking a bunker. So thankfully we've got out in one shot, which is pretty rare for me nowadays. So we're going to grab the rake. And might get Colin just to walk around a little bit. So we're going to just clean up and make sure that we're nice and square, make everything nice and flat again. We might sometimes have to rake the sand back into our divot, just so we're not leaving sort of humps and bumps everywhere. So clean up the area like this. And obviously as we walk out, never do this, okay? So never let the rake follow you out. You've always got to clean up after yourself, clean up after your tracks. You can see there, it's nice. Now as we go up the hill a little bit here, we're actually going to push the sand back into the bunker like this. So you can see here, all around the bunker here, it's nice and tight, and that lets the ball roll down in the areas where we would hit. So if we were to rake all the way up, the chances of the ball stopping on the down slope are much greater. So what we do is push all the sand back, flatten it all out, and then hopefully the group behind us don't hit it in here, but if they do, they then have a good lie still. So just a course etiquette thing for all our members, so we can play our best golf during summer. All the best. Hi members, just going to touch on very briefly the correct way to fill in a divot. It's obviously pretty self-explanatory, but there's a couple of things we can do to help with the regrowth of the cooch and get it back as fast as we can. So I've hit my shot with a wedge here. Just grab your club, and I like to sort of dig in the sides a little bit that's already loose. So you can see there the divot's getting smaller and smaller already. And then with the rest that's uneven, the grass here, I just like to put a bit of sand over the top of that and then just tap it down with your foot. Just try and make sure there's no excess sand, because obviously, as you know, the more and more you cake on, the more and more it turns into a bit of a hill. And then obviously when Aidan and his team run over it with the mowers and things like that, it can obviously make our mower blades very blunt, and we have to replace them. So make sure it's a little thing that we can do just to make our course better, and hopefully can make it easier for our playing opponents.